and welcome back to Sprite Guard plays Starseed Pilgrim. Our goal today is going to be to grind up in this early level and try and get enough seeds that we can build out our path that we've been working on and finish out. We have very nearly wrapped all the way around the world, and so I just want to build up the ground a little bit more so that we're able to go both directions and get to other levels more easily. That way we can always take the shortest route. And then if we have any seeds left over from that, what we're going to do is see if we can explore a little bit further in a different direction, see if there are any levels left for us to discover. Now I want to watch this purple one that's growing in here, that it does not cover the pink one, and it's going to try. And it looks like that just ended up really not working out. So I'm probably going to have to leave that. Now this is a trick that I picked up from Starseed Observatory, that if I put that there and a slime there, now I have to be a little bit careful that I'm able to jump that, which I am. But that slime will corrupt a lot more slowly than the straight along blocks would. And so that will slow the darkness down quite a bit. That's the same reason that I put the ice where I did. So I'm going to take this. I think I might be able to let this go up all the way to 7. I think we have time for that. It's getting pretty close, but it looks like we're going to be able to do it. So I'm going to grab all 7 of these, and that will be very safe. That means that the worst that will happen to us is we will break even, because there has to be a pink seed within every 7 seeds. That's a requirement of the game. And so we're just going to continue making our way to the right and hoping that we can find a key. I'm not really sure why I always go to the right. It just sort of feels natural. It may just be the convention that has existed in video games for a very long time, that you just always go to the right, which is just something that people sort of agreed on without really discussing. It's just something that now everybody does. So what I did here is I put this out just to create a thicker path that we can go along. Now, because I can't jump, I have to dig that out. I think maybe putting the slime there wasn't the best idea, but I don't think that it will be entirely harmful. I think if I put a red one there, when that explodes, it won't destroy too much of anything. And so that will push back against the darkness without really losing me anything, because the straight ahead blocks corrupt faster than the red blocks. And so I can have pretty good confidence that I will be able to improve my position by having that red block go off when the darkness gets to it. Now here is a position where I have put myself in a bit of a bind because I cannot get up there. So I'm going to put some seed growing seeds there, and then I don't have a place where I can put this jump pad unless I dig up those seed growing seeds early, because a jump pad next to a slime block will just turn it into another slime block. And I can't plant a seed where there's a heart. So I've put myself in a little bit of a bad position where I'm going to lose some time. But what I can do now is, now that that's there, I can get up here, and I can dig this down a little bit so that I have a way back up here, and I can get these seeds. So I managed to salvage that, and then I don't really have a great place for this jump pad. This ice also does not really have a good home for it, but I can put it there, and that will slow down the darkness a little bit without losing me anything, and that will slow down the darkness before it sets off that red thing. That's something that I have needed to think about more, that I haven't been thinking about as much as I should, is when I trigger the red one, usually by just the darkness catching up to it, what's that going to cover? And so I want to consider what's going to happen when the darkness gets to a certain point, because that's something that I will eventually have to deal with. Now I kind of wish I had that jump pad still so that I could put it closer to the seed growing seed, but that's just not how things worked out. I'm going to put the seed growing seed here, and that way I will have this box growing seed to get some good air and jump up onto it. And then I'm going to put this red one here, and so I'll have to remember to harvest before that red one goes off. Now I have a jump pad. And so now that is not really... It's like I get the jump pads only at times when I don't want them. But that's not really a big a deal. A lot of people consider them effectively useless. They are certainly not what I would call useful. And this one will actually become useful by being a place for us to plant, which is very valuable. And then, of course, now, as soon as I do that, I get another seed-growing seed. But we can probably plant that somewhere over here, somewhere useful. Maybe we can dig this down. Though I like that this is filling in quite a lot. That will slow down the darkness quite a bit. Want to make sure that we'll be able to get back up here, and we will. So I'm going to plant that there, and then I am going to harvest these. And I'm going to let one more grow in, and that will be 6, which is not ideal. Maybe I should let a 7th one grow in. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have time. The darkness is not getting anywhere close. And it seems like we are generally having a pretty good time of things. And in fact, I think I want to... Let's see. Trying to think... No. I was trying to think if there was a way to use the red one to connect up with the darkness up there. That key, but I don't think that that is an option. So putting this here again will cause it to go off after a good amount of this purple stuff has corrupted already. And so it will speed up the darkness a little bit because it's a little bit too far to the left, but it's a better position there than it would be somewhere else. And I don't know if it will cover up that key there. That's something that I'm a little bit worried about. I'm going to have to put this ice block in a position where it will actually make things worse. And so I'm thinking about where I should put it. I guess I'm just going to have to put it here, and then we can put a random one here and hope that this will let us connect up to one of the keys over there. And that connected up quite nicely. So we're in a really good position where I think we have a really good opportunity to connect up with a key and get lots of seeds. We've left lots of seeds behind us. And so I think what I want to do now is just focus on laying the groundwork to make it a little bit easier for us, provide a few more seeds for us to get. And if I actually write this up... it didn't go up. Okay. Well, we can put that there. And now this will go up. And if this goes up high enough... There we go. That got us one key. Now, I do not remember if I connected up... I did not connect up with the door, so that's fine. We can use... we might have to use 2 seeds here, but it's still profitable. We can grab a bunch of seeds here, another key. Yeah, the door's a little ways over there still. Alright, and we only had to use 1 seed there, so this has been a remarkably successful trip. And we can gather lots and lots of seeds and really build out the overworld a lot. So I'm pretty excited. This is really everything that I wanted. I did a run off camera where I actually made it through a door. I was just trying to practice because the last episode went so poorly. And I ended up getting to a door, and I saw what's behind the door in this world, and it's pretty interesting and pretty challenging, but I wasn't able to actually make it through. So I don't feel too bad about not having recorded it. I am kind of sorry that it's something that you missed, but I didn't end up actually getting the heart, so... But based on what I saw there, I am pretty confident that getting the black heart is what we need to do, because that was all that was in this area. So now we can start building upwards, and hopefully this will allow us to reach around and get back up to the starting area, and then we will be able to start building in other directions. And I'm not even sure what other directions there are, so we can do a little bit of exploring and see if we can figure out where we want to go next. Now this jump pad might be sufficient, but I don't think it will be. Just barely not. Okay. So we'll put this here, and this will grow kind of not very much up, but I think enough up that it will let us put other things up here. Looks like we have another jump pad coming up. And so I believe an ice here, and that will be enough. And so this jump pad we actually want to put down here so that we can get back up this way. If we put that there, now we will be able to get up this way, and so now this is a complete path. So we've really managed to build things out a lot in this episode, and we are still going strong. So I want to look over this way, because we've been going kind of up and left a lot. We kind of went up and left, and then up and right, and wrapped around that way. I want to see if I remember what's up this way, because there's still a lot of places that we haven't been to in a while, because we've spent so many episodes working on this one thing. So this is going back up to the circular level, and I believe we connected to that by going left. And so we know that we've kind of wrapped around to the right this way. So I think what I want to do is head down here and sort of go down and right and see if we can find anything in this direction. So right now we have a jump pad here, and I think I'm just going to cover that up with some of these box growing ones and then probably tunnel back in through so that we can get here from the rest of the overworld. And this isn't growing in very far, but it will give us a platform from which we can continue to build. That let us go at least one space to the right, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's something. So we're not getting exactly the seeds that are most useful for what I want to do, but we're making little tiny bits of incremental progress. And I found that that is something that is a really constant theme in this game. It's just making little bits of progress through the world. Now this should almost certainly go in a direction that will be useful. And I want to sort of ride it, and it didn't. So we're really going just one tiny step at a time, which is frustrating, but I feel like that's so much of what this game is, that it's not so much a bad thing as just it's a new challenge, and I can really take a look at my own reaction and how it's making me feel, and why is it important to me that we make lots of progress? Why is it so satisfying to make lots of progress? I love playing this game, and I love engaging with it, and so when I find something in this game where I'm not happy, I really want to examine that and go, okay, well, what's going on? Why am I having such a different reaction to this game than is normal? So we've got an exploding one coming up, which is really promising. That is something that is going to move us quite a lot, and will let us move a bit down since we've been moving up quite a lot. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this finish growing in and see where it goes, and then go down to that bottom right-hand corner and put this here. And when we set that off, it will let us go a bit more to the right and a bit more down. There we go. So now if I dig this down 2, and then this down 3, we can start growing from there. So this will really let us continue off to the right and hopefully move a bit more downwards as well. And in fact, we can even maybe dig down a little bit in another direction if that's what we decide that we want to do. I'm not sure yet. I want to push out down and to the right as much as I can here and see if we can find anything, and then maybe we will come back depending on what we find. So that was a very successful episode, and I will continue to build out in this direction. I think maybe the next thing to do, though, is to visit one of the levels that we haven't played in a really long time. I know that this one has some interesting properties, and so this might be the next one that I do. And I'm also thinking about the circular one up here that we just recently saw, which we have not played in a very long time. So those are the next 2 levels that I want to play. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.